Hey guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in to my review of the Tex Creek 69 knife from Tops Knives. We're going to tell you all about this knife, show you some of its features, talk about its origins, talk about some of its applications, and show you lots of testing footage throughout the course of this review, so do stick around. Let's begin by, well, we're going to tell you all about the origins of that name, but first let's look at the sheath and just kind of get that out of the way. We have a nice brown leather sheath here with a wrap over belt loop that's going to allow you to carry that vertically very easily. You can have that on your right side, you can carry it the other way on your left side. It's going to be very useful, very easy to make use of. And how does it retain the knife? It actually does an okay job. It actually wraps around that pretty well and kind of locks that handle, that hilt there, into the leather pretty well. So I'm definitely happy with the sheath for most applications. Now, if you wanted to press this into, let's say, a tactical application, or let's say you wanted to use it a lot in wet areas, yeah, you'd probably want to get yourself something made out of Kydex or make one yourself or hire somebody to make one for you so that you can perhaps have that a little more weather resistant. Even so, I would say that this is some nice tough leather that will do well in virtually all applications. And as I've discovered, leather sheaths, leather holsters are actually quite comfortable to use, and that's definitely something to consider, comfort. So that's just a note on the sheath. It's well constructed. I have no complaints about it, and the logo, yeah, set in there to the leather is really nice looking. So we'll set that aside for now and talk a little bit more about the knife. So some of the origins of that name, the Tex Creek 69. Some of you guys might be wondering what that's all about and where did that name come from. So Tex Creek is actually a 34,000 acre wildlife management area that includes 2 national forests. And Tex Creek is actually number 69 on the Idaho Fish and Game hunting maps. So that's where the number 69 comes from, not from the Bill and Ted movie or any other origins you might be thinking of. It's also worth noting that Tex Creek is only about 10 miles away from the Tops facility, which means that the folks who work at Tops testing and evaluating some of their knives get to spend a lot of time there testing the knives in adverse and diverse conditions. So that's quite cool that this knife is almost an homage to their home. Talking a little bit about the construction of the knife, we see that it's made of micarta handle scales right here with 1095 steel. And that blade shape is quite awesome, quite nice, with a nice swedge chopped out right here, and a big sweep right there, and a fine point as well. And also some coarse jimping up top, allowing you to get locked in whether you've got some nice thick gloves on in cold weather or not, or just barehanded. You're going to be locked into that pretty nicely for whatever sort of hunting you want to do. Any other type of survival applications you need to press this knife into. And we could say that this is definitely going to work for a lot of those different applications. It's because of its versatile size and shape, blade length is roughly 4.19 inches. So again, that's a very versatile shape. It's not so large that it's cumbersome and hard to use in small detail situations, but it's large enough to do some pretty good work with. And I like that fact. I love knives sort of in this range, the 4 to 5, maybe 6 inch range, or these are some of my favorite knives to use. So definitely could be pressed into some survival applications, tactical if you needed to, and all that other stuff. Talking a little bit about the micarta handle scales, we see that has a very interesting pattern to it in the texture. They call this their Rocky Mountain bullseye texture, if I'm not mistaken, and it's got a really kind of cool shape to it. And as I learned down at the Tops booth at SHOT Show 2015, this Rocky Mountain bullseye texture started out as an accident where the machine sort of jumped and skipped and created these little divots in the micarta. They took a look at it and said, actually, that's really cool, and decided to apply it to some of their knives. So that's what we have here on the Tex Creek 69. It's also worth noting that this 2015 version of the knife is not the first version. There was another version before it, made with different colors and different scales, and also quite good quality, but I really like this 2015 variety with that sort of coyote tan coating on it, as well as that beautiful micarta. So they've definitely made an improvement here. If I didn't say so, it's 1095 steel, very good steel for outdoor use, for survival use, holds an edge for a long time. I really like it. Another point that I don't think I've mentioned yet is that Leo Espinosa, the VP of Tops, actually designed this knife for his own use, his personal use, in hunting applications originally, and it was later turned into a production knife. So it didn't even start off as something that they planned on producing. It was just something that Leo thought, hey, I like the shape of this knife. I'm going to use this for my hunting applications. It was so successful, so popular, that it turned into something that was produced for mass consumption. And I'm glad of that, because it is a cool knife. Talked about the blade length being 4.19 inches. Some other specs on it. The blade thickness comes in at roughly 0.19 inches, so almost a 20th of an inch, something like that. Very stout, very thick, very tough it's going to be. Overall length is roughly 9 inches, and the weight of the knife comes in at about 9.8 ounces, so nearly 10 ounces for this 4-inch knife. Is that too many ounces for you? Well, that depends. That depends on how much of a balance you want between toughness and survivability of your knife versus carryability. And in many cases, I think 10 ounces is going to be doable for a main knife. If you're carrying multiple knives or hatchets or other things or whatever you might be taking out on your trip, it could be an issue, but I would say that for most applications, a roughly 10-ounce knife is going to be okay. This Idaho made knife comes in starting at around $180 on the Tops website. You may be able to find it other places for slightly less. You can also customize it. You can get serrations on it. You can get customized coatings on it and so forth if you order it directly from Tops. That is quite interesting and quite cool. Tops obviously has a huge variety of great knives, both on their website as well as available in your knife retailers, whoever your favorite knife retailer is. This knife, however, also has lots of stiff competition out there. We're going to lay out a couple of knives, just a few fixed blades here, that compare pretty well against the Tex Creek 69 and come in at lower prices. So let's take a look at some of those knives and just kind of see what else is out there. So there's the Tex Creek 69. Maybe we'll zoom in just a little bit. The Tex Creek 69. What else? How about, we're dropping the price a lot right here with this comparison. How about this one? The Schrade SCHF 42. Also a 1095 steel knife, not USA made. However, I found it to be quite durable in the testing that I did with it, and honestly, for the price, it's really good. It's really good. What else is out there? Here's one from Gerber. This is fairly new. The Strong Arm. The price I don't have handy. I'll try to put it on the screen if I find it. That is a good looking knife from Gerber. And you're going to see a review on this one very shortly. They sent me this one for testing and review. Made in USA as well on this one. And pretty good materials, pretty good versatile construction there. This one obviously with the serrations on it, but they make one with non-serrations. So, I don't know. That's some pretty good competition. We could also lay out, how about this one? Oh man, I love Mora knives. That's the Mora Bushcraft Black. Also, it's quite a bit more affordable than this one here. Made in Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there it is. Made in Sweden, carbon knife. I've had nothing but success and nothing but pleasant experiences using Mora knives. So there's definitely some good competition out there for the Tex Creek 69. I think though, if you are in the market for a knife that is USA made, that has some ties and some origins that are very much USA and very much Idaho. You can't beat something like this from Tops. The Tex Creek 69 has got great construction, great aesthetics, really good ergonomics. I found it to be very comfortable in all the testing I did with it, very usable in all the testing. Really no downsides to it. Came nice and sharp out of the box. Was really impressed with the edge, and just overall, you can't do a lot better than this when you're searching for something, like I said, USA made, Idaho made, very much tied to the region in which it was made. And that's my review of the Tex Creek 69 knife from Tops Knives. I give it a thumbs up. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
We had a jig on a CNC that jumped, and it created this divot, and it did it kind of in a line, and we thought, hey, that looks kind of cool, let's make a handle out of it. And we made it more of a pattern, and it turned into something that we're actually really proud of.